And this is one of our goats. He's actually hiding his head because of all the pesticides coming down. And here they come again for a sixth time. Yeah, you can still hear the animals screaming. As a reminder, this causes temporary blindness, confusion, loss of memory, breathing complications, sinus infections, abortions, and that is just to say the least. Yeah.
Hi. What we're looking at is 4A48B. It's a biological insecticide, and it's supposedly what the state of Washington is using in their spray over these people. Now it's called BTK. It's fermentation solids, spores, and insecticidal toxins. That's 12.65%. Other ingredients, 87.35%. 87. What's in that other stuff? That's a very valid question. What is that 87%? What's this other ingredients crap? Is it water? Is it rubbing alcohol? Is it something more toxic? Perhaps? Maybe? At any rate, you're supposed to keep it out of reach of children. And if it's in the eyes, hold the eye open and rinse slowly and gently with water for 15 to 20 minutes. Remove contact lenses if present after the first 5 minutes, then continue rinsing the eye. Call a poison control center or doctor for treatment advice. Okay, it causes moderate eye irritation. Avoid contact with the eyes or clothing. Wash thoroughly with soap and water after handling and before eating, drinking, chewing gum, using tobacco, or using the toilet. Personal protective equipment is required. Please understand this. This is not a game. Mixers, loaders, this is the agricultural uses and requirements. Loaders, applicators must wear a dust mist filtering respirator meeting the NIOSH standards of at least 95 or R95, P95. Repeated exposure to high concentrations of microbial proteins can cause allergic sensitization. There's health risk information about BTK. The facts are the Minnesota Department of Health prepared the information for people. Okay? Gypsy moths, again. BT is naturally occurring bacteria that is commonly found in soil and food. So is all kinds of other bacteria. Anyway, it's been used safely over 30 years to control insects in the United States, Canada, and other parts of the world. That still doesn't make it good. If you remember DEET or DDT. BT operates through a well-known protein mechanism. Okay, so what if it's well-known? Who cares if it's well-known? That causes toxicity in caterpillars, insect larvae. This mechanism is not known to be present in human or other mammals, regardless of age. It's a biological control method that's an alternative to chemical pesticides. It says it does not disrupt the ecological balance or harm most non-target organisms. Research shows that the BT in air decreases to very low levels within 30 to 9 minutes after an aerial application. To avoid exposure, they've got even to avoid exposure. It says stay indoors during applications and for at least 30 minutes after applications to allow the droplets to settle. They were spraying on people and animals. Wait until the treatment has dried before touching grass or shrubs. If there's residue on the playground equipment, sandboxes, benches, lawns, chairs, spray or hose them off with water afterward, and you wash exposed skin with soap and water if direct contact. It's a bacteria. Hello? It's going to get worse here, folks. You think this is not going to come out with a happy ending, okay? This video is about to get worse.
So we are helpless. the animals are screaming. This is really what our state does. So, Washington State, you're called out.
So here's some notes from people who live in the area, and they thought this would be important to know. This non-toxic pesticide says hazardous to humans and domestic animals. Caution causes moderate eye irritation, etc., etc. You could read this here. Pause this if you like to read it. And this is the best information on the SDS for the BTK, aka 4848B. I'll go ahead and look at some other ones. And this person is very angry. What the fuck? You sprayed my child. He was outside with the safety patrol as kids were arriving to his school. So he and all kids outside not only were dosed with insecticide, but also subject to inhale its residue. Your plan to not spray over the schools until deemed safe for our children was a huge failure. Of course, people are asking if the children are okay. Her son's eyes are burning, his face is red. The school failed to notify parents until the end of the day. So the pesticides were a constant irritant until the son could get home to shower. The school sent a home notification a couple weeks ago. Never heard anything from the school yesterday. The buses were arriving. Safety patrol was out. Kids being dropped off. Isn't that lovely? Let's see here. The kids were dropped off. There was kids walking to school. All outside when a plane went over the school at least 3 times, according to the Sun. There's no excuse for the Washington State Department of Agriculture to have sprayed until after school started. They knew school starts at 9:10, but they insisted on starting the treatment at 8:30. They called the pesticide company, and the pesticide company is upset that the product was sprayed on kids. Okay, their director was calling the school. The school said that the letter would be sent home to notify other parents. A little bit too late, don't you think? Anyway, so Washington State sent out a statement. Watch this. There is a miscommunication with the applicator about the time of treatment. In other words, the person who was piloting the plane. Okay, about the time the treatment should occur at the one school in the Silverdale treatment area. As a result, some children were outside when the school was treated. Oh, our bad. There was a miscommunication. So sorry. What? We fully intend to treat the school only after the children were inside in the class. You mean to tell me all these moths are taking over the freaking country? That you have to spray so heartily over kids? Even while they're in school, there's air systems that's going to be blowing this. Now remember, what is this stuff made out of? It's a mold. It is a mold that's being sprayed. Okay? Anyway, so they worked with the school district to inform parents. They're doing it wrong. It's supposed to be a treatment for gypsy moth caterpillars. It's BTK, and it's a mold. Now, you remember this stuff that's on the walls? People, they get all alarmed if there's a mold on the wall. It's a mold, people. Good Lord. Anyway, moving on. One person stated that they were not positive, but there's a plane at Bremerton Airport that looks like a crop dusting type of plane. Seen it there yesterday along with some kind of delivery type of truck by the north end of the runway. Today it was parked right across from the light off of Highway 3. One person saw that there was police officers there watching while they unloaded the big liquid containers out of a semi. Okay. Now, folks, you know what this means? They knew it's bad. They knew it's bad. Now, this is pictures of what it's supposed to look like or not supposed to look like. This is funny stuff. People are upset. This is a sample taken of the substance that was sprayed on that farm that you see in the video. Guys, these people need our help. They need awareness. Washington Department of Agriculture is in deep trouble.
Watch it come to the ground. And if we denied them in any legal measures, they were going to force onto our property, seize our property, and arrest us. This is what they threatened if we proceeded at any legal measures to deny them to do this. Nobody voted for this. Those that attended the meeting were told that there was not going to be any vote, that they were going to do it regardless. This is what our state is good for, huh? So all those bee farmers, they just lost all their production today.
I will be interviewing Lauren Smith about this topic this next week on tfrlive.com. So tune in to Quantum Connections, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, either Monday or Wednesday, so you can get the update on this. Something must be done.
Find your Quantum Connections at tfrlive.com.